So this week, on the 21st, we have a new moon in Libra happening early morning. Then the moon's going to enter Scorpio like a few hours after. On the 22nd, Neptune has been retrograde and is going to retrograde back into Pisces. Later in the day on the 22nd, the sun enters Scorpio. Scorpio season officially starts. On the 23rd, we have Jupiter squaring Chiron. And then on Friday, the 24th, the sun is going to be squaring Pluto. And then Mercury trines Jupiter. On the 25th, Mercury trines Saturn. And then on Sunday, the 26th, we're home free. No direct transits. So, hi, Tanglet. My lover. So with all that being said, lots of stuff happening this week. Yeah, I'm excited. I think. Nope, I'm just saying that. Am I excited? How do I feel about this week? A little uncomfortable. Yeah. So, like I was saying before talking about all this, we have this new moon happening in Libra. Ugh, hiccup. Sorry, guys. I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting sick or what, but this new moon's happening. Let's jump forward to the 21st. Let's go to I think it's at 5 a.m. What the hell? There we go. Okay. Yep. Oh, ha. Freak. Okay, sorry, that was a lot of different emotions looking at the chart. So, like I was saying, I normally film YouTube videos on the new and full moons and upload those, but I've been really honing into listening to when I should be sharing content and when I shouldn't be, and really leaning into being authentic with when I'm sharing. I find that when I do that, it's just more in alignment. It connects more with people other than me forcing content that is just, I'm doing it because I should be doing it. Nobody really wants to consume content that people think they should be doing. At least that I should speak for myself. So I was sitting with this new moon, literally looking at it the other day, and I'm like, wow. So a couple things to note about this new moon. So new moon is happening at 28 degrees of Libra. Okay. So it's also in the last decan of Libra, which is ruled by Jupiter, and additionally is ruled by the Four of Swords. So have you guys know what the Four of Swords looks like, right? Let me grab it. Let's guys, Four Swords. Right? Here's the Four Swords. Right? Guys, resting, snoozing here. So this is the energy of this new moon, which is why I started giggling, because I was like, no wonder I didn't film a video about it, because like I was supposed to do a new moon circle too. I had everything prepared and I was like, actually no. Nope. We're not doing anything. We're literally not doing anything. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, Tanglet, same. Yeah, so Four of Swords, this guy is resting. This is like the pause of like actually really deeply surrendering to the restoration that comes from rest. Restoration. Something I want to point out here too, if we take a peek back at the chart again, this is going to be interesting. We'll talk about this in a second, but there's a opposition that's happening to Chiron. We talked about this opposition, Sun opposing Chiron. So we're still feeling that into this new moon, which I shared a whole bunch about the Sun opposing Chiron last week. If you want to dive more, it's written on my Substack and also on my YouTubes. It's a very, very interesting configuration that we have going on here, because we have a loose square happening to Jupiter, and it's ruled by Jupiter right now. So we have this sort of like need for, you're saying it's an oration of rest. Yeah, it's really slow down. Thanks for the rose. Rose. Smells so good. I can't help it. So I'm gonna just tap into the energy of this new moon for a second and just like really speak from a more channeled place. Because this new moon is really like, it's... I heard like, what? Because I was hearing the word freedom, and it's like, what? The feeling I got is, what if you could have the freedom to rest, and like rest in a way that doesn't feel guilty, that doesn't feel like you're not doing enough. Especially when we think of new moons, it's when our subconscious energy is it's really low. It's when we're kind of folding inwards. It's that inner winter sort of energy, and there's this feeling that I get with this new moon where it's kind of this gentle reset point, this soft... Oh, they just showed me like a leaf like landing on the ground, just like the shedding that comes with autumn too. And now this square that's happening loosely to Jupiter, opposition to Chiron, so bringing in a little bit of those themes from last week I spoke about, where it is that sort of relationship tension that's happening here, especially with this opposition to Chiron, to this Libra energy, which has to do with relationships and how we relate. There's this deeper need to, I heard it's like put everything on pause. That's, I mean, I'm just thinking about the readings that I've been doing lately, feel very, very connected to this new moon in Libra, which have been like, it's time to really, really take stock and to really get clear on what you really want. And Libra is all about like balance, right? Is all about harmony. And there seems to be like, this is the permission. I just saw like an hourglass in my mind's eye and the last like bit of sand settling. And it's like, you need a moment to settle before you flip it over again. There needs to be a moment of breath so that you can kind of get clear and digest everything that's happened from the last lunar cycle before setting the intentions for the next. Because we're about to move into Scorpio season, which is going to be a whole different thing. Yeah. So what else wants to be spoken to? There's this Orion meteor shower this week burning off. Oh yeah. Yeah, isn't that the like somebody said something, the comment thing, the 3 AI or whatever, I don't know. Comet thing, I don't know. 3i Atlas. I don't know. I like that aspect of like bringing in the themes of refinement. Like I really feel that. Like it really is this, and especially in relationships. I was actually just having a conversation today with one of my friends, and like really being clear on who you want to surround yourself with and like the nature of your relationships. For Libra sun people, so it's at 28 degrees, and I always, you know, bring in the aspect of like, you know, if it's directly on something that has a heightened thing, and I'm like trying to picture your chart in my mind's eye. And I know you got a lot of Libra. So I know my brain's like calculating it. Yeah. So yeah, relationships are definitely, getting really clear what you want in love too. And it's not that you have to take action on it, but like having that discernment, decisiveness. Again, it depends on, it's not more oriented towards your sun sign, but more your rising. And I know this is transiting your 8th house, because I know her chart, guys. So some people who are in my chat, like I have their charts like I have photographic memory. Yeah, so this is happening in your 8th, maybe loosely into your 9th, so themes of new knowledge coming in if it's more of the 9th house, and then for the 8th house it would definitely be more themes of like rebirth, really letting things go big time. Yeah, good question. Yeah, I know I've been talking a lot about this this new moon, but it feels again like normally I have a full video on it, and so I really want to give this a little extra attention. This with it being ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter being in Cancer, it's like yeah, dude, shedding, it's never gonna stop, by the way. The shedding doesn't stop. We think that we're like, I think of an onion. I mean, I'm personally shocked at my continuation of my journey. I'm like, oh, I've made it. And then I'm like, oh shit, I haven't made it. Oh God, there's more? How is there more? How? Yeah, no, genuinely, I'm like, how? How is there more? Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny. Welcome for those of you who are joining. We're talking about the astro transits coming up the week ahead. Yeah, it's very humbling having been on this journey of self-discovery for a hot minute, and there's more self to discover. And something, yes. Oh, my Scorpio rising gang, feel ya. I'm thinking about the aspect too, especially, and I like that this conversation's happening because this is precisely the Libran energy that's coming up. It's like the conversations that you're having at this time and the connections are opening different sides of you that haven't been seen before. You know, because when we connect to other people, they open different aspects of us or remind us of different parts of who we maybe once were, but maybe got kind of pushed to the side because of other things. And yeah, I'm definitely feeling that. One a little share was like my mom brought up that like my boyfriend has brought out a side of me that she's never seen before. Like, she's genuinely like, you're a lot more gentle, you're a lot more sweet, and just like, I can be a little feisty. For those who know me personally, I can be a little sharp. So yeah, shout out to my boyfriend. He's doing God's work for sure. Bless him. So yeah, that guy. So with this being ruled by Jupiter, and it's interesting because it's making this square to Jupiter as well, is this sort of feeling of really allowing yourself to be deeply nurtured. Again, it's always funny looking at the astrology when all my channeled messages lately have been exactly what I'm about to talk about here, which with this new moon being ruled by Jupiter in Cancer, there's a really big importance of understanding like how your home feels And home can be metaphorical. Home can actually be your actual home, but like really understanding, like, can you be all of you in that space? Can you like shed your layers? Can you, it's the soft gooey insides of that Cancerian energy, because the Jupiter's in Cancer. So yeah, there's a lot of beautiful opportunities with like letting yourself be deeply nourished and deeply nurtured by yourself and by others as well, if you're able to open up to that as well. So okay, I feel like I've talked so much about this new moon. Yeah, receiving has been, oh, literally right there with you. Right there with you. Same. I'm like, oh, huh. I don't think I've actually ever like fully have received in my life. So, let's jump over here. So, okay, let's jump ahead to Tuesday. Let's jump ahead a day, and you'll notice that Neptune hanging out here in Pisces. Ooh, oh. Shout out to Neptune for moving signs, because I was wondering about this one yod that's happening. Yeah, exactly. So Neptune has shifted back into Pisces. So Neptune's been in Pisces for a hot minute, moved into Aries, ingressed into Aries for a little bit. That was our summer of fun that we had, where summer was literally, I don't know if you guys can speak to this too, but from my personal experience of these transits, summer was like a whole different breed. I'm like, what is happening? Who am I? What is going on? And that's because we had Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune and Saturn all in entirely new signs. So that was our little it was like a trailer or sneak preview of the next year, come next summer. That's what we're going to be in for the next 15-ish years. So yeah. With Neptune shifting back into Pisces. Oh, I drew my arrow the wrong way. That's embarrassing, guys. I know astrology. Yeah, and it's retrograde right now too. So Neptune's been retrograde for a hot minute. We have a lot of retrograde planets. So we can see Chiron's not a planet, but it's retrograde. Uranus is retrograde, is going to move back into Taurus in a little bit. Yeah, we had a lot of retrogrades happening over the summer. Yeah, so Saturn's retrograde. So anyways, with Neptune moving back into Pisces, I think this is beautiful. Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm not a big summer girly. With Neptune returning to its home sign. So Neptune's at home in Pisces. And we've had, let me look up the exact dates of Neptune in Pisces. Dates. Was from 2011 to 2026 is what's happening. Yeah, I was wondering what the actual year was. So since 2011, we've had Neptune in Pisces. So we got the first taste of it in Aries, which is freaking powerful. And now moving back into Pisces, it's almost like wrapping up unfinished business here. This summer was a preview for the next 15 years. I'm ready. Do you actually mean that? That you are ready for it? Or is that a meme comment? I'm ready for it. I actually, like, this was the first summer that I think I actually had fun. Rare experience for me. Summer of love, yeah. No, literally. So, okay, I feel like I keep just getting derailed, but it's my live stream. I can do whatever I want with it. With Neptune movie. You ready? I went to Hawaii for a month and met yourself. Yes, yes, you got the little introduction. No, seriously. Yeah. Yeah, guys. Okay, let me get cozy. My knees up here. Gabby! Ooh, I'm so proud of you for hosting your party. Wish I was there. Yeah. So, okay, let me lock in. We can do this. Neptune moving back into Pisces is really the sort of, it's this last opportunity, and for those of you who have been just started your path into spirituality, I feel like a good chunk of the people that I do attract tend to be embarking or feeling a little bit newer to it, or on the first phase. I don't even know how to categorize it because it's deeply unique and personal. With Neptune moving back into Pisces, it's actually, for those of you who are resonate with that, it's going to feel really powerful, like tapping back into the collective consciousness, because Neptune in Aries has been very it'll be in Pisces until next I think February, and then move back into Aries, or I might be thinking of Saturn. Let's see. Exact date. Bro. Can we just give me the exact date? Okay. Pisces. Okay. It'll be back January 26th, 2026. Yeah. What the? Yeah. Okay, cool. So, beginning of next year. Gosh, that took forever to find. It's really hard to find certain dates of things. Unless I'm like looking at like a astrology book, but this Neptune moving back into Pisces is kind of like wrapping a lot of these retrograde planets moving back into their previous sign. It really is like wrapping up stories, wrapping up. It's really beautiful. Okay, I'm seeing a lot in my mind right now, so bear with me as I like gather my bearings to communicate this. We've gotten a glimpse into our future sort of reality over the summer, and so now going back, it's almost like with that energy of that kind of identity that surfaced, where maybe more confidence, maybe a little bit more daring, especially because the planets were in Aries. It had a little bit more oomph to it. Moving, all the planets were moving into masculine signs, from water to fire, from earth to air. So this is powerful, very masculine shift. So action. And so now you've kind of got that on the back burner, and this knowledge of like what that was like. You got to feel it in your body. You got to understand it. And so with Neptune moving back into Pisces, we're having this ability to kind of approach these past patterns with a new oomph, you know, with that new sort of fire, which feels really good. It's going to be a little bit challenging because the thing about Pisces, very watery, very tends to wear rose-colored glasses and kind of just, you know, perceive the world in this sort of deeply fantasy-oriented lens. Yeah, no, the body knows a lot. With Neptune moving back into Pisces, we're getting this opportunity to look at our sort of old beliefs, because Neptune is about the higher octave of love. It's unconditional love. And when it's in Pisces, it's completely formless. It's just like, everybody, everything, all at once. Let me just fall apart into the collective consciousness, which can be beautiful, but it you're entering that from a place of having started to form a new identity. And so you're seeing where your past self had maybe self-sabotaged, or, you know, like did things in a way that maybe you don't want to do anymore. And so you get to course correct. You get to now like approach this sort of feeling with a little bit more, you know, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to play small anymore. And actually understanding the power of boundaries, of purpose, of drive. Now, there may be sort of, you might get pulled back into old patterns. Pisces has a nature of like being very, very wanting to escape things. Escapism is a big thing for my Pisces people. Hello, I got Pisces placements. Escaping into sort of maybe fantasy or with substances. Been very contemplatory, crushing this week. The general idea of Eros. Yeah, that's so real. This like moving back is like, it's kind of a little test of like, are the boundaries going to hold? And it's not in a bad way. It's not like, if you fail this, you're never getting a chance again. But there is opportunity here for us to like kind of reap the magic of these last few degrees of Pisces, which is literally the degrees of enlightenment, to put it lightly. So there's potency, but it takes a lot of work. And some of us are not in the space where we can do that. I don't even know for myself. It's like, I don't know if I'm ready for enlightenment yet. I kind of like, just being a human. That's why I came here. So there's some little nodes of magic that can come with this, of like learning to navigate formlessness without getting completely consumed. It's like the operation game. Can you get the thing without getting buzzed? It's there, but it's going to take a lot of precision. And I don't even know how to describe it, but it feels very like, and the thing is, I'm sitting here trying to articulate Pisces, and Pisces can't be articulated. So like even me using words to describe what's trying to happen here, it's more of feeling. It's more of feeling everything. And something that I've been noticing lately, especially as this Neptune's been shifting back more, is like a little bit more feeling into the collective field a lot more. Like I've been feeling, I'm like, these aren't mine. I've got to get really clear on like my energetic boundaries. I've got to be really like, and I call it energetic hygiene. So like really making sure like things are cleansed and clear. So man, I've been talking I guess I just have a lot in the tank because I didn't live stream last weekend. So I just am loving talking about this. So Neptune's going to be in Pisces. Neptune will go direct and then, you know, move back into Aries. But right now, and I'll talk about that when that happens. Again, like I've shared at the beginning of my live stream, is like, we don't need a future trip on transits. We just are in them. We're in it. It's reflective of usually our personal experience. So then later in the day, my favorite season starts, guys. More connection to your emotions. You'll probably, Neptune's going to be in Aries for till like 2038. So it's going to be a long time. And until Neptune's directly on your moon, you're not really going to feel it until it's directly there. But I would say that it's going to actually dissolve the walls that you have around your emotions. And that can be a little scary, but not in a bad way, but it's just like letting go of emotional baggage. Neptune's just like, here, just drown it in unconditional love. And your Aries moon's gonna be like, who am I without all these things and these stories and all this stuff? And Neptune's like, don't worry about it. Just swim. You're like, I don't know how to swim. Welcome, Amanda. How's it going? Okay. So favorite seasons coming around for me, in my opinion. So really, really late at night, Pacific Standard Time, the sun will move into Scorpio. There we go. 9 p.m. PST, sun moves into Scorpio. We could see it over here. This is happening again. We're still on the 22nd, by the way. Haven't moved on from that yet. So again, early in the morning, Neptune moves back into Pisces, and then the sun moves into Scorpio. Jesus, what the hell? Don't mind that. Don't mind that. Lots of Scorpio energy happening. So, Scorpio season. Sun enters Scorpio. That means we have about 28 days of this experience. Ugh. Hiccups. I don't know what's happening with my body. Purging. When the sun enters a sign, the sun is our ego, our part of us that wants to shine the brightest. And the thing about Scorpio is it's the metaphorical underworld. So that is why we have Samhain or Halloween happening on the 31st. It's when the veil is the thinnest. This is when, we're more exploring the deeper parts of our psyche. Death and decay become a norm. We're talking about spooky things. It's so interesting to see how like society's kind of moved with these energetic narratives that are already present. So with the sun moving into Scorpio, we are having an illumination on some energy where we've already been in. So all this Scorpio energy I've been talking about for the past few weeks, we have Mars there, Mercury there, and now the sun joins the conversation. And so the sun joining this conversation, it's almost as though like we're now settling into some of the things that maybe we've been taking mental action on and some physical action on, but now our ego's joining the conversation, where it's almost like we're settling into some of these things that conceptually we've known. Or, for example, I'm just going to use an example in my life, is like I've been knowing on an intuitive level that I need to like clean things up in my space, right? It's kind of come through in a couple of my messages. Do I egoically know why? No. I'm assuming that some more clarity is going to come through as the sun enters into the same sign as these planets, where it's almost like, oh, here is why. Here's why these things are happening, or whatnot, like just cleaning things up, because Scorpio is deeply connected to our sort of parts of us that we kind of keep hidden, keep kind of pushed to the side. I always get this visual of like you're exploring a cave and it's dark and you maybe only have a small little thing to illuminate it, so it casts shadows, and once you actually see the shadows, it's not really shadows, it's just the fact that light's casting shadow. So what's interesting about the sun entering Scorpio is, well, I made note of this. This is a very interesting thing that happened. So I'm not going to count this as a specific yod. Okay? Because Neptune moved right out of Aries. So it's an out of sign sort of yod. So this is a loose sextile. And then I talked about this yod configuration with Mercury moving into Scorpio what was that, last week or the week before, which was really powerful. That was happening during the full moon in Aries. It was really, really powerful. And now we're seeing the sun sort of do this dance with Neptune and Uranus as well, this sort of pressure point. Now the ego, but the fact that Neptune, okay, this is where my astrology brain kind of nerds out. The fact that Neptune just shifted signs right before this happened, it's kind of like, I get this feeling of like a loose structure or something bailing out or something, like it's almost like I don't need to hold on to this thing anymore. It loosens this yod, so it's not as serious as the sort of feeling that I'm getting with this. And thank you guys for liking the live. I love seeing how it moves the content out. We have some new faces in here, which feels good to see. So this is just interesting. And then we have, and we'll talk about this square. Ooh, yay. I'm so glad. I would love, yeah, obviously you don't have to share here, but, you know, feel free to shoot me an email or a DM of like how that went. Cause I just shared that guided journey and I was like really excited. And I actually filmed a new one today. I was just like, well, Spirit told me to, so here we go. Doing the thing. So I'm not going to dive too deep into this yod because again, it feels a little, how do I want to word this? Spirit lately has been speaking to me in like the weirdest metaphors in my brain. They were like showing me like placing tiles in place and how you like measure them, but it's like the measurement was slightly off, so it's not perfect, but it'll do. Is kind of the energy with the sun moving into Scorpio, where maybe something slightly just like meh, doesn't work, but they're not wanting me to focus on that really. It's my nerdy brain is just focused on it because I can nerd out about it, but we're not gonna, it's not fruitful for you guys. Thanks for the follow, Alana. Wait, do I know you? If I don't, it's okay too. I'm still happy to have you here. But oh yes, it is you. Okay, I was like, wait, yes. I was like, wait a second. I was like, wait, I know you. That's so cute. As soon as I saw your profile picture, I was like, wait. That's so cool. Awesome. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. We're yapping about the planets. My favorite thing to do. I feel like, I've been live for an hour. Jesus. That's usually my cap for like being live, but there's still more to talk about. So, we've got sun moving into Scorpio, which is going to be beautiful. Honestly, there's going to be a lot more evoked with the sun moving into Scorpio. We're going to, again, with these things that the Mars and Mercury have been moving through, we haven't had almost like a spotlight on them yet. It's like we've been driven by our subconscious mind or unconscious mind to do certain things. So again, I'm bringing examples of my life of like just saying yes to something that maybe normally you wouldn't say yes to. It's almost like that Mars and Mercury combinations, just do the thing, and it's pulling us, and then our ego is going to join the conversation. So we're going to have a little bit more knowledge of like why we're excavating these things or why we're purging these things. And Scorpio opens the doorway to, oh, thanks for the follow. Welcome. I didn't get to see your username. Definitely drop a hello in the chat. I appreciate it. I just want to talk about Scorpio for a second. So Scorpio is the second water sign. And so when we look at Cancer, Cancer's oriented towards the self. And then Scorpio's oriented towards, welcome, Hotcha Dog. I love it. I love the username. Scorpio is oriented to our interpersonal relationships. So that's usually like lovers, close family members, close friends. Scorpio really just wants to blur the lines and unite with just one person. That's why they can be a little possessive. They like to think they're edgy and cool and nobody knows them and they're all mysterious. The thing about Scorpio is we deepen into the sort of like, I like to think of Scorpios as energetic, like, this is gonna sound really weird and I hope it's not offensive. You guys are like, why can't I say? I'm seeing so many things in my head and the words are not happening. Like a wasteland where people go and dump garbage. And it's because Scorpios have the tolerance to transmute anything. They will take your anger, your frustration. That's why, like, they don't even bat an eye if you get mad at them. They're just like, whatever, throw more. I'll turn that into whatever I want. They can get hooked on that though too. So it's a very interesting when the sun's in Scorpio and we're all experiencing this season and having a part of our chart highlighted, right? So definitely look at where Scorpio's at in your natal chart. It's going to heighten that area of life. There's so much excavation that happens here. I also imagine Scorpio like a pond. It's very still and unassuming to any passerby. But if you were to get in the water, right? Again, Scorpio, I like the spider analogy because it just sits on the web and waits for something to fly into that. It's similar to this pond analogy. And it's like, oh, once you get in the water, you're going to get pulled under and under and under. And you don't even know where the bottom of that pond lies. And it will take you to parts of yourself you've never met. That's the thing about Scorpio. And Scorpio season is like, you get to illuminate the parts of you that maybe you're a little uncomfortable with still. And the veil thins. Does this apply to people with a lot of 8th house placements? A little bit. I wouldn't go too heavy. Your 8th house is Libra. So definitely look at your 9th house. This is where it's going to be moving through for you. Birth charts resemble spider webs in a sense. Yeah, birth charts. Yeah, even just like looking at this, we can see a sort of web happening. This is the conversation of the planets talking to each other right now. Yeah. So we're going to have a portion of time where we're just deep in the transformation process. Yeah. So you'll feel when the sun meets your Jupiter, it's going to be illuminating a way to expand yourself, which is really cool. What else do we have going on? I've been yapping about Scorpio season forever. So let's go ahead and jump ahead the next day. On the 23rd, Jupiter is going to be squaring Chiron. So let's go ahead and grab this. We have Chiron hanging out 24 degrees. Jupiter's at 24 degrees. So, squares, guys, squares. I'm going to be a teacher. What's a square? Don't be cheeky. What is a square in astrology? Nobody? It's so funny that I asked a teacher question because an old teacher I used to work with, she just messaged me and asked if a student could interview me for a project. So, I like that, Alana. Alana's like, I got this. So squares are technically 90 degrees. Oppositions would be directly across from one another. But squares are 90 degrees. So this little line that I drew here. And so I like to think of them as almost like the tectonic plates. And that's how I've been describing them, because like you have these two different things that are pressing up and it has to move somehow, you know, something's going to happen, whether it's a tidal wave or an eruption or an earthquake, like something has to move. There's friction, right? So we're having friction between Chiron and Aries with Jupiter and Cancer. And Chiron and Aries, we've been talking about Chiron and Aries for like a hot minute, I feel like. And so Chiron and Aries, to bring that lens into the conversation, is our wound of who am I? Who am I? Who even am I? We've had Chiron and Aries for I think since 2019 of like, I don't even know who I am, like really, really getting close to the identity of self. And it's almost this kind of like imposter syndrome a little bit. A lot of us are moving through. And so the square is going to bring into our awareness where we are sacrificing ourself for the sake of comfort. Because Jupiter in Cancer is all about being comfortable. And so there's an interesting tension point, because Jupiter in Cancer is saying like the way that we grow and we expand is by like doing new things for ourselves that expand our comfort zone. And Chiron in Aries is like, I don't want to do new things, because what if I did new things, if I tried to be comfortable, do I even... It's so funny. I'm like seeing them like literally talking to each other in my head. And like this Chiron in Aries is really like, it gives this insecurity that you're not capable of achieving what you set out to achieve. And Jupiter in Cancer is this sort of energy of confidence in caring for yourself. Super powerful placement. And so this tension here, how is it resolved? Can it be? It's up to you guys ultimately. Yeah, it's kind of this just like Chiron and Aries is kind of giving me the energy of like, I'd rather just sit and suffer than to push myself in a way that could actually take care of me. And it has to do with emotional vulnerability, because Cancer is all about your emotions, how you feel and expressing yourself. So this square is kind of like, Jupiter's like, hey, just like say how you're feeling. And Chiron in Aries is like, well, I don't know. My feelings, like, you know, I might just be too much, or like, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about me. Yeah, it's giving that. It's giving like, I don't know if any of you guys have had that friend that's just like, you give them all the greatest advice and they're like, I'm just not gonna do any of that. That's kind of Chiron and Aries right now. And it's like, bro, if you just did the thing, you probably would like enjoy it. It's taken me 2 months to make your first YouTube video. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. I get that though. I think I'm going to share on, for those of you who don't know, I'm doing a 28-day authenticity vulnerability challenge on Instagram right now. So it's linked in my bio. The account is 8th House Mercury. Changed my username, so you can go follow me there. I want to do a share about my first, not my first, but one of my astrology videos, and like show you, this was 5 years ago, me sitting and talking about astrology. I sound completely different than I do with you guys right here, right now. So different. She was so afraid of doing it wrong. And like, and my voice, my tone of voice right now, I'm way more comfortable in who I am. I don't talk to you guys in a customer service voice. And in this video, I talk very high and I just want to be liked. That's how I would talk in the video. Guys, it's so freaking funny. But I have so much compassion for her, because like we've all done that. And so my point of sharing that with you is like, do the thing. Start now. Do it messy. It's okay if it's not perfect. The only way you're gonna learn is by doing it. Wait, I never thought I was gonna stream on TikTok. I was very anti-streaming on TikTok, and here I am streaming on TikTok. And I got it all set up. I figured it out. Do it. If I can do it, you guys can do it. Um, so this square is just going to be a very interesting sort of like push and pull, and ultimately, no offense, but Jupiter's going to win this conversation of just like share how you're feeling. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's a bunch of turkeys outside. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Completion. Turkey medicine. Actually, let's actually read about them. Let's do a little turkey divination mid. And this has nothing to do with astrology for context, by the way. Yeah. Little turkey divination. I'm pulling from my animal spirit guide book. Pulling. By pulling, I mean flipping to a page. Do I know my alphabet? Okay. Thank you, Becca. I'm so glad you're here. Genuinely. Like, my whole goal is to just invite people into real shit. And sometimes it's uncomfortable. With that being said, you guys should join my Discord server. If you guys aren't in there, I have a whole community space. It's all linked in my bio. Okay, Turkey. It's important to transcend the focus on your own needs and to consider the greater needs of the whole, such as your family, community, or the world. You're about to receive a gift of some sort, material, spiritual, or intellectual. That could be anything from winning the lottery to a simple gift, such as witnessing a beautiful sunset. Perform some act that honors the earth, whether a sacred ceremony or simply picking up trash. Volunteer your time in selfless service for some organization that you want to support. That feels good. I feel that even the fact that came up while I was like reading about this square that's happening, it's almost like maybe getting out of your own way a little bit and like leaning into like service a little bit more, finding new ways to serve your emotional needs, and that might be asking for help. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into the 24th. We have the sun will officially be squaring Pluto. We have this happening here. And then Mercury is going to be trining Jupiter. And then, let me see here. Oh, cool. This is cool. Oh, we have kind of a loose grand air trine happening here, by the way. It's not exact, but it's there. But we'll talk about this first. Okay. So, well, another square, guys. We kind of got the understanding of squares. Ah, God, this square is so uncomfortable for me. If you have any placements at the first degrees of fixed signs, so that's Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, or Aquarius, you'll feel this. I'm saying that as somebody who has a placement like that. So with this square happening here, oh God, not fun. I'm being so candid. Normally I kind of like am neutral. Pluto squaring the sun. We have the sun in Scorpio, and this brings in this like edgy, I'm getting like edgy teenager vibe. Like, no, mom, I'm gonna go to the punk emo band. I don't know, but it's giving like sort of edgy teenager vibe. And Pluto in Aquarius is like, is that who you really are, or are you just doing that just to spite whatever? So there's this square of authenticity that's happening. There's this tectonic plate, this build up. First house Pluto, Scorpio ascending. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. There's this feeling of like, there's a very interesting thing with stripping Scorpio back to like their bare bones almost. because this Scorpio energy will hide itself in this shrouded like shadow and mystery and edginess, when truthfully, when we boil down Scorpio, all they truly desire is to be understood. And the thing is, what Pluto is asking the Sun in Scorpio here is, are you ready to share yourself, who you really are? With Pluto in Aquarius, on a societal level, we're all going through an authenticity upgrade. It's why content consumption has changed drastically. It's why more people are hanging out in live streams or watching longer form content or wanting to connect with real people, right? Pluto in Aquarius is all about authenticity. And so the square to Scorpio is like, who are you underneath all of that? Like, I'm seeing like a punk rock kid. They're like, what is all that? Like, yes, it's self-expression, but is it self-expression or are you playing a role? Your sun and parents are Aquarius. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have some strong Aquarius placements too. We're freaks. We are weird. And yeah. So there's this question that's coming up on the 24th of like authenticity, of like, do you need to wear a mask to be you? The answer is obviously no, but I'm just painting you guys a picture. It's like, do you need to throw on a certain outfit or certain things? It's kind of this like liberation of being stripped bare. Like if you had no, and this is fucking terrifying for Scorpio energy because Scorpio kind of likes to possess things. It's the opposite of Taurus. Still likes its own possessions, but it tends to be energetic possessions. So usually relationships or people. And so it's kind of like, well, who are you without all those connections or those people or without the relationship or all these things? Ah, Brizzy. I love my Brizzy check-ins. Yeah, giving up control and expectations. As somebody who's on the other end of the spectrum with expectations, I hate having expectations because I get freaking tired of being disappointed all the time. And usually people disappoint me. So life's way more exciting when you're just like, well, we'll just see. We'll just see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I think that's a little bit of trauma. Just a little bit. If I'm being really real with you guys, I think there's a little bit of trauma in that for all of us. But it really is like, sun is oh no, it's okay. We're all traumatized here. It's cool. It's fine. We like dropping the sorry, the chat's moving so fast. I am moving it so I can see everything you guys are saying. Sun's first year, Aquarius and Neptune, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, so okay, yeah, Alana. You're in the generation, so Neptune and and your sun is there too. Oh, baby girl. Oh, you're going. Oh, and you have Neptune. That's an interesting combination to have natally. But with the Pluto going over that, buckle up. You're about to be a brand new person in a couple years. You got this. Have a therapist, have friends. Pluto's just gonna completely transform in your ego identity and how you express yourself. And the part of you that shines the most, it's not gonna leave anything that's not real or authentic. I love it. You got this. So this square that's happening, yeah, yeehaw, exactly. That's the perspective to have with it, especially with it being in Aquarius. It's like, cool, Guess we'll find out. Fuck around and find out, basically. So this square is a really fun, authentic square. And then we've got this trine happening also on the 24th. Let me peek. Yeah. Where Mercury is trining Jupiter to begin with, but these are all kind of playing together from the 24th to the 25th. So Mercury squaring Jupiter, chef's kiss, deeper access into communication, more conversations flowing, harmonious energy. Trines are harmonious energy flows. It's really allowing us to open our hearts a little bit more, maybe more fruitful conversations, especially in the emotional realm, because Mercury in Scorpio is speaking from the depths of ourself. Jupiter in Cancer is expanding our ability to hold energy, is what it feels like. That's what I've been really feeling into with this Jupiter in Cancer. It's really like your capacity to hold more is expanding here. And then additionally, the next day on the 25th, Mercury is going to make an exact trine to Saturn as well. So this is a ground air trine. And so, oh God, this is so beautiful. Hold up. Nerding out here. Let me nerd out. God, I'm being so weird. Bless you guys for hanging out with me. So let me give you the little pieces. Let me give you the lowdown. So Jupiter, that's not Jupiter, guys. That's Saturn. Hold up. I know astrology. Jupiter, Cancer, expanding our ability to hold energy. Mercury, Scorpio, is allowing us to communicate from our inner depths and our almost the parts of us we don't want to see. Beautiful, beautiful, right? Saturn in Pisces, having retrograded back into Pisces, we've been in this energy for a little bit, is creating the container and the foundation to hold all this, because like Jupiter is expanding the energy outwards and Saturn is kind of constricting it, is like actively building a foundation for Jupiter to like continue the expansion process, all while having a deep access to communicating about it, talking about it, sharing it. What is present? What are you going through? And it doesn't have to be like perfect, right? That's the thing about this Scorpio energy. It's okay for it to be messy. It's okay for it to be feral and raw and vulnerable and like guts and gore. But it's like, is it testing your energetic capacity to hold more? I think of people who even host community circles. Like, for example, if you joined me for my full moon circle that I had 2 weeks ago, like the ability to hold a container energetically, even at a distance, takes a lot of discipline. I've heard some sad stories about people not having the ability to hold containers and people feeling compromised. It takes a lot of energy to be able to do that, and for a bigger scale. And so you're learning that. You're learning this energetic responsibility to hold it. Because yeah, it really is a skill, and I've seen it done unskillfully, and it's why I take so much intention into it, because it's important, and I don't ever want people to feel unsafe or compromised or anything like that. So this grand trine that we're having happen this upcoming weekend is really allowing us to like talk about, maybe this is like a beautiful trine to actually have tough conversations, to say the things. And I'm saying this as like, if you have a conversation to be had, this would be a really good time to have it, especially if it's pushing your edges. If it's pushing you in that zone of like, I don't like talking about these things, but I need to say them, right? Whether it's sharing your story online, that's something I'm doing with this challenge, or if it's having a conversation with a partner or a family member or a friend of like, and it's testing it in a beautiful way, but it's really held. And this could just be happening on a personal level too. This could be a very personal thing where you're really tapping into your capacity and your ability to expand.